27 miles.
Where are we going?
Buffalo. Unless you want to eat someplace else. I am camera shy.
Nah, I doubt it.
Sick.
Jack!
We have two choices actually. Remember that little barbecue place at the Logan's or something like that?
Yeah.
We can go there, we can go Buffalo.
We can do Buffalo.
It's a little bit more expensive.
We can do Buffalo.
Okay. That means crossing the streets wise though.
That's fun. Yo, what's good, everybody? Back again with another YouTube video. So today we're trying something a little different. We're out in the town being ruthless. Nah, we just saw Independence Day. Good movie. We get off base. And that's why people make fun of us. That is why people make fun of us. Anyways, so we're talking to you guys about your 6 week of training today. Hopefully you guys by this point are excited because guess what? You're really not doing much for your 6 week.
It's mainly going to be marching around. It's going to be your two big tests, which is going to be your PT test. Hope you've been training. Push yourself on those sprints. And then your EOC. And that's your end, of course, exam.
Pretty much. Now, the main reason why this week's kind of boring is because it's like that middle time between like your graduation. Like you got nearly nothing to do. Just a bunch of mandatory classes and your EOC and your PT test. But this week is the biggest week people fuck up. Let me tell you something. You are not valuable at all. If you're dumb, they will drop you. You're nothing at all, even when you graduate. Just because you graduated or they invested money in you doesn't mean they won't get rid of you if you're being stupid.
Oh yeah, we had two people on my flight got recycled and one got discharged because he was a moron.
Yep, we had one of my flight. Oh, I told you guys about this story. I found out from my friend who actually got discharged for a medical reason that my friend that got put to med hold when I graduated basic in the first week all this time ago is still in med hold. She met him.
Damn, that's 5 months
stuck in BMT. I could use a rub down.
Oh wait, are we going to Buffalo?
Yeah.
We have to cross there.
Ah, son of a... So we're trying to entertain you guys. We're trying to go to Buffalo Wild Wings. This is the problem about not having a car in tech school. You see, we have to take cabs everywhere.
Sucks!
It sucks because of the fact that we have to take cabs everywhere and that costs money. But at the same time, don't buy a car in tech school. Don't
be that retard.
It's not really worth it. I mean, if you're going to DLI, that's different. I can get that. Because that's linguist. That's a really long ass tech school. But if you're just like there for 2 weeks, a couple months, no, don't survive. Again, the problem with not having a car. We've crossed this so many times, it's amazing we're not dead.
I am kind of surprised at that.
I kind of am too, to be honest. And we made it. We're alive! Yeah. Somehow, again. Holy crap. And we're back. So, we're going to try and talk as loud as we can. We got a lot of cars behind us if you couldn't tell. Hey! Alright, so the first class you guys are going to have is environmental awareness.
Okay, so environmental awareness is basically the Air Force and all the military is trying to go green. The less energy that we're dependent on, the more effectiveness we are. So any little thing helps. You know, if something's dripping, tell CE, civil engineering. They'll come out and they'll fix it because that's a lot of water. And especially if we're out in the middle of the deserts, yeah,
we're in a drought. We're in a drought. Now, this is another cool thing. The Air Force loves ideas, believe it or not. We want you guys to think. And if you got a great idea, tell somebody. We have forums for that.
So there's a story that goes around that this person, I can't remember, he was an airman. I think he was A1C or senior. All right, so he's just sitting there inside his hangar. He's already passed tech school. And he had to change the light bulb, but he got tired of doing it every 3 weeks because his hangar had like 300,000 light bulbs. So he actually worked the math to change them all to the new incandescent light bulbs, the green ones. Yeah, the Air Force cut him a check for like $14,000.
Yeah, they'll cut you the money.
Yep.
They'll take your idea, but they'll cut you the money. It's awesome. So if you got ideas, talk to someone. We got forums for that stuff. The Air Force, if it exists, the Air Force has a forum for it. All right, so our next class is going to be financial management. Basically, this
Don't be an idiot.
My thing is, don't buy expensive cars. You don't need a Mustang. You don't need a Camaro.
Look, if you have to buy a car, and I mean absolutely have to, not your opinion, you need to. And if your personnel, your tech school is what, 6 weeks long, dish it out. Deal with it. If you have a tech school more than 5 months, I would recommend thinking about buying a car. Get something that would physically get you from point A to B. I don't care if it's a Kremlin and the transmission is falling apart. Get something dirt cheap. Work your way up if you have to have a car. See, we hate we hate taking a taxi, but we don't need a car. Town is not that far away.
And we walk everywhere.
Yeah, as you can see, we're walking down to the nearest restaurant. We're getting our good 3-4 miles in that we've done so far today. We don't need a car. We would love one.
We don't need it.
We don't need it. One of the cool little rules about AETC is under the 4-day weekends, like the 4th of July is a 4-day weekend, you do not tap into your reserve days. You could just go base.
Yeah, you could. They don't make us charge our leave. Now, we're not saying where you go will be the same, because where we are, that's a thing. But for you, we can't really say. So just expect that, but don't bank on it.
Yep. Every base is slightly different. It depends on what your commanders want.
Now, next thing, STDs. Now, I shouldn't have to lecture you on where to put your thing, but please be smart about it. Tech school is the easiest place to get an STD, because you can be in the Air Force with an STD. You can't enlist with one, but if you get one, you can be in the Air Force with AIDS. You can. It's a thing. Yep. Realistically, it's a thing. So, I'm just saying be careful. That's all. You'll have a class on it. You'll have to look at pictures.
What's number 1? Isn't it Keesler?
Keesler. It's either Shepherd, and then DLI.
So, the next class you're going to take is Combat Stress Recovery. If you ever get deployed to a hot zone, and you say you can go home, you don't immediately just hop a plane, you go out back to your home base or whatever. No. You spend 2 or 3 weeks decompressing. You're in a war zone, you need to come back to civilian life. Pay attention to this class. Security forces, especially special operations, EOD, stuff like that. This stuff is going to be part of your day-to-day life. Personnel, I don't know, maybe. It's kind of a crapshoot on that one.
I would still pay attention. You never know.
Mechanics, still the same thing. You can get deployed out to a combat zone, and you still have to go through this debriefing class.
And you never know when you may have to pick up a rifle, so just be careful of that. But we can't really offer too much advice on that because we haven't been deployed, so we can't really...
Yep, but it's something you want to pay attention to. The next class after that is going to be portals. Okay, the Air Force revolves around this stupid
website
called the Portal. Okay, Air Force Portal is what it is. This is where you get your CAT card, all your information, where your order is. It's pretty much everything digital that you can do. Now, for those who are open and they come in, open general, open mechanical, open administrative, and I'm forgetting, open electronic, this is the chance you're going to find out your
AFSE.
Yes, AFSE. Now, that only happens if you pay attention in class and you follow the instructors. You're only given about 4 minutes to look this thing up. If you're fast enough, then you can get more time, but you just pay attention to the person, all right?
And if you don't have enough time, recommendation I got when you graduate, use your base lib and go to the library, take a look at your job.
Yep. All right, and then after that is base referral agencies. This is, you want to take it from here?
Yeah, base referral agencies is basically like the Airman Home and Readiness Center, financial advice. But things on base that offer advice to you, like getting your orders, MPF, stuff like that. Places that you can go to suit your different needs as a military member.
Yeah, you want to pay attention to that, because eventually if you want to go to Ramstein Air Force Base, you're going to need to figure out how to get there. And if it's not on your top 4 or 5 right off the bat, you're going to have to pay attention.
Talk about some variety in your life. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
So one thing you guys will enjoy much is that when you finally get to go off base is being able to go out to eat, not your defect. Something that's not the defect.
Oh God, yes.
No, much love for my defect, but variety. I appreciate that in my life.
I only have the same noodles for 6 weeks straight. I can't handle it anymore. I mean, it's good for once in a while, and it's good that it's free, but
variety,
man needs protein.
So we're gonna talk a little bit in here about trying to eat, you know. So main thing that we want you guys to be aware of now is the PT test. Now you have your final PT test here. Now everyone's question: do I go off the BMT scores? Do I go off the AFI scores? This is your official Air Force PT test. This is going off the Air Force AFI.
Yeah, so your run is going to be, it cannot be any more than 13:36 for males. Do we know what females are?
Somewhere in the 15-minute range.
Somewhere in the 15-minute range. It'll have it inside your manual.
I'll find it for you.
Yep. The next thing is your push-ups cannot be less than 33 and your sit-ups cannot be less than 42. If you fail any one of those components, you fail the whole test. Unfortunately, that's it. So you gotta want to do 1 and 3s, and you're gonna push it on those sprints. That's where you're gonna get your money on, all of you, females included. You'll learn what 1 and 3s is inside, but that's the big thing. Push those sprints. Kill yourself every single time. If you can't make that going in, that's where you're going to be. Your honey and butter is going to be.
Trust me, if you made it this far in BMT, you shouldn't really have to worry about your PT test anymore. Yeah. I think you'll be fine.
One more thing is that this is your official PT test. Now, if you get a below, and all this stuff, if you make the bare minimums, that's not going to cut it. That's not going to give you a 75%. You need to get 75%, and you can't break any one of those limits. So you need to get a little bit more on your run, or more on your push-ups, or more on your sit-ups. So if you get like 70 push-ups on males and you max it out, you're pretty much golden on just getting the bare minimum on the other two. So it's a little work and weave on that stuff. So those who run a 9-minute mile, just work on them getting those minimums, and if you can get all three above all that, golden to you. Now, if you get below a 90%, you're going to have to do your PT test 6 months after this one. So if you do it in the 6 week of training, 6 months after that, that's your next PT test officially for the Air Force. Same guidelines. If you get above a 90, though,
every year,
don't have to do it for a full year, calendar year. They won't care what you do. So stay in shape. Work towards that 90%. Always improve yourself. There's no reason not to.
One other good thing to know is, even if you're like me, I scored now 96 on my final Air Force PT test, but I did not make Thunderbird. Why? Because I did not have, not Thunderbird, yeah, Thunderbird. That's above 90, Warhawk's 100. I didn't get that because of the fact that my run time didn't meet 9:57. That's why I didn't get it.
Yep. So Thunderbird and Warhawk, you're going to go into here, and you're going to be hearing these every so often. So Thunderbird is 90 to 99%. You have to hit certain limits or whatever. It's inside your BTSG. We'll look that up for you too. If you get a 99 or a 100%, you are able to be what's called Warhawk. That's just another certificate.
Low 8:57 run time, max everything else out.
Yep. I met a couple people inside my flight that got Warhawk. They're badasses.
Now to finish off, getting autograd, you cannot have any bad comments. You cannot have failed one locker inspection.
Can't have any U's.
Can't have any U's as well. No comments.
No. Comments are okay, but U's no.
All right. Can't have any U's, and you have to have at least Thunderbird. At least.
And that's for a shot of it. It's only top % of your entire class.
Yeah, I had a shot. I just didn't get it. I had 96, no comments. 92 on my EOC, or 91. I'm sorry, I didn't get it. Look at the draw.
It depends. We had about 800 people that graduated with us, so that means there's only 80 autograds. So you have to be all that just to be qualified. Just to be qualified. You could get 100s on everything. Well, actually, if you did, you're most likely going to get it. But if you get 99s on everything, or whatever, and if 70 and 81 people got 100s on everything, you're not going to get it. Unfortunately, it's the top 10%.
It's kind of how life is, you know? So to close this video out, we're going to hit on some major topics, and then we'll say goodbye. So anything you want to discuss before we leave?
Well, we've already covered the EOC. We've covered the PT. And we've covered pretty much everything else. I mean, there's not much more. You're going to be doing a lot of your routine for your
parade and
retreat.
Coin, yeah. You'll hate it. You'll be so good at it, you'll do it in your sleep. Probably.
Yeah. You actually have one person walking around in his sleep doing it. Pretty much. Well, that guy was a little bit off. No, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, honor grad is 90 or higher on everything, and that's if you're only in the top 10%. Warhawk is 100 on everything. Well, 100 on PT. And then Thunderbirds is 90 plus.
I honestly wish you guys the best of luck. We got one more video for this. Actually, maybe two more. We'll do Airman's Week as well, but it really isn't much for that, so you might just combine it with the next video. Regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.
Later.